What's going on, YouTube? This is called Fear Can Kill You Being Stuck in Life. I had this title in mind because, you know, it's common for most of us to get stuck in our life, do the same thing over and over, to be in constant fear about your bills, your taxes, car payments, and everything like that. You know, it's just a part of life. Give me 1 second. It's a part of life, and it's something that we have to deal with, but not in the way that people think that we should deal with it. I think that everybody has a way out, a positive way, a great way. If you feel that things are hard in your life, or if you things feel that things are great in your life, either way, they can always be better. But this is more or less about fear. Like we have a lot of fears. Like when we wake up, we're afraid. Afraid to go to work, afraid to come back home and be in an argument, or to come back home and just not be able to rest how you wish. So hold on, I'm gonna get started in a second. Just making sure I'm in here. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's what this is all about. It's all about fear and how it affects us because it really changes our life and not in a positive way. Like it's been shown that fear it it can also cause cancers inside the body. It can make you sick physically. It could change your DNA. Like if you start thinking that you're sick, if you start feeling sick all the time, you become sick. You can give yourself cancer. You can put yourself in the hospital just by thinking it, just by having that fear, having that nervousness. Or if you was ever told by somebody that you're predisposed to be an alcoholic or to have thyroid disease or bipolar, then you start to create this inside your own body because you fear it, and that energy starts to go to your cells and your DNA, and it does what it does. It creates. It starts to form this inside your body. But now in this day and age, we got all this media, especially look at this YouTube right here, social media, where we have so much fear being projected. We think that like we're gonna constantly be in war. We feel that the neighbor's gonna rob us, cops is gonna rob us, cops are gonna beat us up. We feel like we're gonna lose our jobs all the time we're working. We feel like we can't step out the box. We feel like we have to eat a certain way or we can't eat a certain way. We're not going to have enough money for this or that. Like the list goes on. And you guys know what I'm talking about. But in reality, I need people to know that like you can change anything within seconds. I want to tell you a story real quick. In 2012, I lost my apartment, my car, my dog, a lot of my clothes, a lot of my things, a lot of material things, right? So I went into a depression. for maybe, let's say, around a whole year. I was in a slump. I had no money, I had no job, and I felt like I couldn't get one for multiple reasons. And I was just thinking negative, and things just got worse, you know? Like, I did everything in the book. I racked my head, but I really didn't go out of my environment. I stayed in the house. I just, like a fungus, just in darkness. And it just got worse and worse until all I knew was that I just wanted to meditate because purely and truly, I just knew that I needed to change. And I just wanted meditation because that's the only thing that I knew or I heard that can transform your life. And then, of course, after searching, you will be found. I went to uh, a psychic shop with a friend, a female friend. She wanted to get her reading or whatnot. And I was like, okay, I'll go with you. I didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't care for it, and I didn't care less about it or anything like that. But I sat down, sat in a chair, picked up some book. I guess it was all like the local mysticism and new age kind of thing that was in that book, which was pretty cool. So I sat there and I looked around and I looked in Connecticut. I was like, oh wow, there's a spiritualist church right up the street. They say they do meditation. Let me check it out. I just wanted to meditate, like I'm saying, truly, true intention of self improvement. That's it. I went to this church, a lot of great people, a lot of like minded people. They were talking about mediumship, they was talking about psychic work, they was talking about energy work, they was talking about all of these things that you never hear anybody talk about, and they was all positive to a degree. They all had intentions of being positive, and I was quite the opposite. Like, I radiated negativity. Like, I was so uh down on myself. Like, I radiated it. Like, if I walk by you, you can feel the negative tension in my body. Like, I grew up um violently, and you can feel the violence in my bones and my muscles. It was just a part of me. So when I went there, uh, I was taught a lot of good things. I end up like going deep on it, and you see the plaque back there. Is that mine's or yeah? No, down here. Yeah, for metaphysics, I end up like going all the way in when I learned a little bit more about um, metaphysics because it's transformational. It's like alchemy. Like, you could take a negative and you could turn it into gold overnight within seconds. And I found that out. Then I even grew to do public speaking when I was nervous. And I still get nervous if I was asked to do another speaking on stage. But I know it takes 1 second, boom, and I could transform. Anybody can. It's an energy thing. It's an energetic thing. And this is all I'm saying this to say that if you're in a negative environment, if you're in a state of fear from any degree, you can change it because we all develop a routine. We go to work, we come home, we eat shit, sleep. Some take a shower, some don't. But we do the same thing over and over again because we're afraid if we step out of that bubble. Thank you, man. If we step out of that bubble, that we're just gonna fall off the face of the earth. And if we start to speak our truth, people are gonna say that you're just crazy. I remember, to continue a little bit more with my story, that when I got so involved, that became my life. Like I was very passionate. I'm a passionate person. When I get involved, I get involved. Like I go all in. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't play at all. Like I got my own I got my own company now. Got my own business now because I took a leap. Because I was like I preach and I speak and I feel it like ripping through my body. This energy that's saying that I need to be free. I can't have anybody telling me when I have to wake up. I can't have anybody telling me that I can't work or I can work and how much they want to pay me and they want to make my situation good or not. I can't do that. I have a kid. I have a wife. I have a life. And I want to go as far as I want to go, not where the next person wants to go. So I decided that I got to take this leap. I was afraid, still am, but I kick it every day. I wake up early. I wake up at 5 o'clock to get it rolling, and I do whatever I have to do to keep it rolling because I can just surrender and be like, oh man, let me just go get a job and I'll be safe. But then I'll have to deal with all of that I just told you about, that everybody else deals with. You gotta make your you gotta go to work and make somebody else happy. Oh, I'm a floor technician. I clean floors. I clean carpets. I got a lot of videos actually on my Facebook. Like a lot of people that watch me on YouTube, they don't want to see that. They want to see what I'm talking about right now, but they end up seeing that. So you can see that on my Facebook. But so I took that leap because I know my potential. I go crazy. I'll go to the end. I'll make it happen. I'll make millions if that's what I desire. And I know everybody can do that. But I know this. I could bet my life on it. If you want to take a move, if you want to take a step forward, even if you can guarantee to everybody around you that you're going to make improvements, you're going to do good, somebody's going to shut you down. It's probably going to be the closest person to you, and they're going to shut you down on a consistent basis because we live with fear, and we're always in fear. And if you're not feeling it, somebody's going to throw it at you, and they're going to want you to live it because when you rising up, people get afraid of that too. They're like, oh man, he ain't afraid no more. That scares me. Like, I can't be around this person if he ain't afraid because I need to keep mine. I need to survive because we're all like crabs right now. Like, no, no, you can't climb up top. You need to be down here with us. Nah, we need to get to the highest possibility that we can. And it's not a selfish thing. It's not an egotistical thing. It's like if I can't be right, then I can't get my peoples right neither. I can't get anybody right. Like I can't even try to help. I see a lot of people go to different countries, talk to people, and they go and be a pastor. They go give a handout and try to make a change in life. But they never had any work on their self. They never look at their self and say like, yo, maybe I need to fix me first and then I can get out there. And then I could really make moves instead of just like, hey, follow this. No. So what I'm trying to get across is, man, don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody stop you. Like if you're afraid, that's good. Like keep on stepping into fear. Because the more you step into fear, you know what? The less it's fearful, right? Like the more you step into fear, the less you'll even fear. Like I notice when I meditate, right? That emotional state that amps your whole life. That's what your whole life is based off. Your emotional impulses, right? Somebody says something, you feel some type of way. Somebody does something, you feel some type of way. You see some craziness, or something that you feel that is crazy. You see some weird pictures, you feel some type of way. Where you can meditate to the point that you just look at it, like, oh, then when you can just look at it, you see a whole different picture altogether. And you're like, why didn't I see that before? Because you couldn't see it before. Because your frontal lobe was overloaded with all these emotions. And your mind wasn't even in control, which you don't want anyway. But your body was becoming the mind for you and say, hey, hold on, I got this. Like, we're going to do exactly what we did before. Like, when we felt this way, this is how we responded. Hold on, mind, sit down. I got this. This body's going to take control. Now you got your body trying to dominate what you're thinking. And then you got your, and if you can get your thoughts out, then you got your thoughts trying to dominate your life, which your body or your mind shouldn't be doing either or. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not either or though. You're not your body and you're not your mind. Like you work in tangent with them. But if they're taking over, we got problems. And we all do. We all do. Like you can look on Facebook. Like every time I look on Facebook, I scroll down, I don't stay on there. I can't. It's like I just post my like what I'm doing for business and I offer my services. But when I start to scroll down through the feeds, I'm like, I can't look at this. I see videos of cops beating people. I seen videos of just this morning, just for 1 second. I didn't even try to look. I seen some guy stumping out some woman and a kid. I'm like, why do people post this stuff? And like when you post things like that, you just create more fear. Like I can't go outside and like this is real talk. Like I can't go to some rich neighborhood and just walk, right? Because people are gonna think that I may want to rob them. You know why? Not because how I look, not just because how I look. It's because that's what I'm saying. Not just because how I look. It's because all these movies. It's because all these television shows. It's because the news reinforces that people that look like this guy, he'll rob you. I seen people tuck their purses. I seen people cross the street. Now it doesn't bother me because I understand it. I get it. It's brainwashing. It's just fear overriding your reality. Like you're not even in reality. People are just walking, just ghosts, gone. There's nothing going on in their head. Well, actually, there's so much going on in their head they can't even live. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your thoughts just hijacked your whole life. Like you got a whole bundle of thoughts you could just constantly, and you can't live because you can't see because your mind is trying to analyze and logic, like trying to make everything logical. You can't chop existence down to molecules. You can't because then you got to chop it more. You got to chop it and chop it and chop it and chop it, and then you still ain't gonna understand it. They don't even know what oxygen is. Hell, let's even come higher back to the physical. They can't even tell you what's wrong with your spine if something happens. Like, like we don't even know what's in the ocean. And we think that our intellect can actually get us out of a problem, but it always gets us into a problem. Because the first time you see something, you're thinking about all the negative things that can happen. And it's weird that when people see these negative things that I was talking about on Facebook or wherever you happen to have seen them, they're not really thinking about that person. They're not thinking about those kids that got shot or the people that got blown up. They're not thinking about them. You know what they're thinking about? They're thinking like, wow, that could have happened to me. That is crazy. Wow, that could have happened to me. That's what they're thinking. They're not thinking about the people that died. Isn't that mind blowing? That's how much fear dictates us. Like, we are numb to compassion. Like, you can't see somebody and instantly just relate. Like, oh wow, they're going through something. I feel it. Like, we get so numb because we got the social outlets, because we got the news that keeps us hampered down in fear. Like, I wouldn't watch the news. I don't. I never watch the news. I have no idea unless if I go to the gym and then they got screens everywhere and you gotta at least look once. That's the only time I find out what this guy's talking about, and what that guy's talking about, and who's killing who. Cause it's just crazy to have that in your mind. Because even if you think you don't hold it up here, it goes back here, or wherever you want to think the subconscious is. It gets lodged in there. You get so used to it. And I started to notice, like when I was a kid, I started to notice when people get hit by cars, what do? We laugh, right? Am I right? Yeah, we laugh. Hit by, like, oh shit, this dude just got hit by, yo, that's crazy. That's what we do. Because it's normal, right? Now think about people in Africa. When people get shot in the head by refugees, what do you think they do? They probably laugh. They see that stuff all the time. But it's just true. And it's crazy. So the only thing that I know that works to transform this is this. What I talk about all the time. Like, I wake up, boom, first thing. I'm trying to be positive. I'm not saying that it always goes great, because it don't. Like, sometimes that bell goes off and I don't want to get up. But that's the thing, between somebody who's transforming and actually changing and getting positive results to somebody who doesn't. Like, if I don't want to do it, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do it. I am going to do it. Like, somebody asked me before, like a friend just invited me to go speak. Like, it was probably last year at a Toastmaster meeting. He's like, oh yeah, he spoke before. He's a newcomer. Just let him speak. I heard he's alright. I went in there and I spoke flawlessly. And people just asked me, oh, how do you speak like that? And I was like, I don't know. I'm just speaking the truth. Like, and the only difference between me and you is when you're afraid, you're concentrating on your fears. I'm not. If I'm shaking, I don't care. I let the shake go. Well, then who cares? Like, I learned to be brave. That's true. I speak from the heart. I speak with passion. And I learned to be brave. So, like, they're sitting there reading, thinking. I never think about what I'm going to say because it's all there, right? People, that's the trap of the intellect. Like my wife, I love her to death. I do. Well, she's my other side. And I guess it's great because she's constantly like, when like I just started my business, started actively 3 weeks ago. And it's ups and downs. And she gets nervous. She's like, oh wow, maybe you should get a job. Or maybe you should get a part time. And I'm like, and I'm being respectful, and I'm like, okay, all right, all right. But I don't want to be disrespectful, but I have said this in a nice way. Like, there's no way in hell. Like, I'm 100%, because I know when I did that, I took like 3 days with no pay, or even a little bit more. Then I found great things, great avenues, because the human being cannot be stopped. The only person that can stop you, there's only one individual, and that's you. If you get in your way, you'll stay in your way. I got the hell out of my way, and I found multiple streams that are here on the internet. The internet has blessed us all. You can have access to anything you want right there on the internet. And people complain all day. My brother just got out of jail. My brother been to jail at least 15 times over the course of his life. That man has two jobs easily. He actually left four jobs within the last month because he kept on switching over because he was like, well, these guys are offering me more money. And he has no skill. He did not go to school for any particular thing. The only difference between him and other people is that he's hungry. And ain't nobody gonna tell that man no. He just gonna go in there and say, this is who I am, this is what I offer. If you want it, I'm here, or I'll go to the next person because they got me. I'm gonna keep on going because somebody will have me because I got me. And that's just how life is. And people don't want to attack it, and they end up getting attacked by it. But it's so true. It's just crazy. I know that it's not easy. Like when you live around a lot of people who probably are not feeling you, or probably are not relating to the things that you're trying to accustom yourself to. If you're trying to meditate, you're trying to do yoga, or if you're just trying to exercise, or if you're not even doing none of that and you're just sticking to getting your mind okay, it's hard. But you got to change your environment then. Don't chill with those people. If you got to be by yourself, be by yourself. Honestly. Because if you're around, Steve Harvey said it fantastically. I'll just say it like him. I'll quote him. He said, if you have seven friends and they all smoke weed, there'll be eight people smoking weed. You'll be the eighth. I ain't got nothing wrong with that. I'm just quoting him. Like, I don't do anything. I keep my system clear only for my own particular reasons. But I was just saying, you are who you hang out with. You become your environment. Bruce Lipton, look him up. Brilliant guy. Brilliant, brilliant guy. Mainstream biologist. I think, yeah, biologist. He deals with the DNA and things like that, and the impact on the body. And he's a professor. He's really active, and I guess the new age community. I guess, and he was talking about how you can change your DNA, how you can change every single thing about yourself by thinking about it. And he said that even when you go to a hospital, when people are giving you these medicines, most of it, they said one third of that is placebo, and it works just as good as actual medicine, just as good. There's no difference between it because one placebo, you're healing yourself with your mind. And the other side, you're just being numbed up and you're holding whatever back. You're not actually doing any healing, but whatever works for you. So, if you got something on your mind, like if you love to work, hold on, don't get me wrong. Like me, I can't work for other people because there's a whole spiel behind it, you know? It's too much control. I can't wiggle. If tomorrow, if Monday, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do anything. I want to just meditate and go exercise. I can do that. Nobody's going to say nothing. And that's where I need to be. Now, there's people that actually love their job. I encourage you to stay there. If you can ever be in a place that you love, that's fantastic. I've only met a handful of people that can say that. Yeah, it's just temporary. But I myself, like, I would go to work. How I tell you guys, like, extreme. Like I'm like this with everything. I went to work, uh, and I started at the lowest level. Just came in. Every time we had a meeting and they brought something up, I said, "I'll do it. I'll learn it. I'll do it." And I never have the intention of trying to impress because I'm not even thinking about that. The only thing I'm thinking is, how much can I advance in the shortest period of time? You know, how can I climb? How can I improve? And I just kept on doing that. And then the floor guy left. Before he left, I was like, hey, 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 yo, how's the floor? Blah, blah, blah. Nothing special. I'm like, oh, okay. It's not going to add anything. I stepped back. And then they kept on bringing it up in a meeting. And I was like, oh, I put myself in a great position. They know I'm interested. And I just turned it down. Now everybody else turned it down. So they're going to come back because they like my personality. And they know I can just go in the house and talk to people and get a job done. They came up to me and they said, hey, Dave, we would really like you to be a floor guy. I was like, yeah, sure. If you take me to school and you give me a raise. All right. All right. Boom. Put yourself in that position. Now, was it fearful to step into that? Absolutely. Doing something that I have no idea. Who knows how to just clean floors, all carpets, all fibers, all tile, all these kind of new things I have to learn. Then they throw you out there by yourself. Fearful, fearful, fearful. Mouth all dry, you know, sweating. Like I'm just out there, like rushing from one appointment to another appointment. I'm driving up and down for hours. Who cares? I didn't care. Struggled. I went to work. I was in fear. I still did it anyway because I knew that it was going to make an improvement in my life. And that's just what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do. Like if you're trying to lose weight, like I hear like a lot of people, I seen the struggle and I know that it's real. And I know that there's a lot of things that go with that because working out is it's a big thing in my life. So I know that sometimes you can't just work out. It's not gonna work. Sometimes you can't just diet. Sometimes the combination don't work because your body's a particular way. But nowadays, like I said before, we got a whole bunch of different resources. There's people that already went through it, and you could just look it up. Like, okay, this is where they was falling. This is where I was falling. Let me take this. Let me try this. Let me try this. And just see if it works. But the main thing is, here's my baby. She's waking up. The main thing is, what's up, Scarlett? You gotta change your routine. You gotta change your routine. All right, guys. Thank you once again. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I love all you guys, and I appreciate you watching. Peace. Thanks, bro.